Our deacon is away this morning, so the service gets a little bit bumpy sometimes. People came to Jesus either to argue with him or to be healed by him. Remember the friends who lowered their paralyzed friend through the roof in order to get him close to Jesus? Remember that story? And the first and greatest healing that Jesus did, that Jesus gave to that paralyzed man, was to forgive his trespasses and his debts. The second healing was to help him get up and walk. Remember blind Bartimaeus begging by the side of the road, and when he hears that Jesus was passing by, he started shouting at the top of his lungs, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." Jesus asked him, "What do you want me to do for you?" "Make me see, give me vision." And Jesus did. Remember Zacchaeus up in the tree? Zacchaeus climbing the tree, thinking that all he wanted to do was just catch a glimpse of this man that he'd heard so much about. But Jesus, knowing what his true need was, stopped at the tree and said, "I'm going to eat with you, Zacchaeus. I'm going to come to your house today." And over lunch, he saved Zacchaeus from himself, from a life of isolation and desolation, amidst his wealth, all alone with his wealth, which he'd gotten by defrauding others. Saved him from himself. Now, another man comes to Jesus seeking healing, seeking a cure for the thing that ails him. And the thing that ails him is not a physical pain that you can see or touch. It's a something else kind of pain. It's a lack of purpose, lack of peace. The man that comes to Jesus in today's gospel has a hole in his heart, because even though he's done everything that his religion tells him to do, he still doesn't have the life that springs from communion with God. In his own words, he doesn't have eternal life. And Jesus looked at him with love. With love. It's the first time that that word is used in Mark's gospel. Looked at him with love. Looked at him with cherishing him, with regard and reverence. And it seems like this man had great esteem and regard for Jesus as well. He says, "Good teacher," he begins, "good teacher." But Jesus quickly redirects him, "Not me. I'm human like you. We're in the same boat. We're dependent on God. We're blessed to be God's children. But look to God alone. God alone is the good, the true, the beautiful." The differences between them, of course, between Jesus and this man, even though we're both in the same boat, the differences between them were many, but the difference that stands out this morning is that Jesus knew he was blessed. He knew that he abided in God and that God abided in him, and that the purpose of his life was to be a blessing to others. The man who needed healing, who was coming to Jesus with this hole in his heart, whom Jesus regarded highly, he still didn't know this. He was under the illusion that he was lacking, that something was missing. His religion, his following the rules, had not brought him to the saving knowledge that he belonged completely to God, and that God was trustworthy. That he didn't need to keep doing more and more and more to try to make it to eternal life. And that eternal life was in relationship, not in possessions, not in accomplishments, and not in religion. This man who came to Jesus was still seeking to get it right. And Jesus knew the cure for this ailment. The cure, of course, was to cease seeking, to cease attempting perfection, to let go of all that was good His treasures, these are good. His accomplishments, those are good. His religion, that's good. But to then, when he comes to the end of what that can give him, to let go of it in order to gain what he really hungered for, eternal life, which is communion with the Creator. To let go of the life he was clutching and clinging to so hard, because eternal life was standing right there, right in front of him, choosing him, loving him, cherishing him. And all he had to do was trust that he could let go of everything that held him back, that held him at arm's length. His fear that there wouldn't be enough, his sense of not having enough, his striving after greater and greater goodness. All he had to do was trust that he could let go of everything that held him at arm's length. That this God whom Jesus trusted, this God was trustworthy and wanted him. I don't know what keeps you at arm's length, but I know that for me, trust is a real issue. It's a real issue. I've had many therapy sessions over this whole issue of trust. I know that even though I live simply and my bank account is balanced, when I pray about my pledge for the following year, or my pledge for the capital campaign, I suddenly start worrying about not having enough. Anybody else in that same boat? I've learned enough to just kind of move through that worry, to watch it, to see it arise, to watch it, to not identify with it, to just watch it and say, oh, there's that worry again. There's that fear of not having enough. And then to take action. To see the fear, to see the worry, and then to take action in faith and trust. Which in this case, the case that I'm talking about, is simply to sign the pledge cards and to turn them in. This year, there are 2 pledge cards, which makes it slightly more complicated. Right? There's the pledge card for our annual, the thing that we do every year, and then we're in the midst of this 3-year campaign in order to address, you all know the issues, water, safety, debt, and outreach. So I watch my worry. I watch it with compassion, like Jesus looked at this man, with love in his heart. I watch that worry with love, with compassion. And then I take the action. I've already done that this year, signed my annual pledge for 2016 and my capital campaign pledge that will be fulfilled over the next 3 years. Because I find that taking action is what really helps when it comes to worry and anxiety. Just going ahead, saying a prayer, and plunging forward. The truth is, I don't want anything keeping me at arm's length when it comes to my relationship with God. I don't want any distance in that relationship. It's far too precious to me. And the truth is, there's no distance on God's side, ever. The distance happens on my side when I privilege worry over faith. When I clutch at whatever it is that I'm clutching to, whether that's family love, or my bank account, or, I don't know, those are kind of the 2 biggies in my life, family and money. Could be different in your life, love. Whatever I clutch too tightly out of fear that it will disappear. Because I find that when I do that, it doesn't bring love, it doesn't bring relationship any closer. It does not make me any more secure. Paradoxically, my security decreases the more I clutch. And the more I hold loosely and with gratitude, the more secure I become. I think this is what Jesus was trying to teach this man. This is the kind of life he was inviting this man into. This eternal life, which is now, which is plentiful, which is abundant, which graces us all the time. And for it to grow, that awareness in you to grow, all you have to do is look around and recognize it and be grateful for it. Yesterday we celebrated life. We celebrated Betsy's life and God's life, which powerfully courses through all creation and which does not know any end, which knows no end, and for which nothing can ever diminish it. We celebrated the fact that Betsy looked for blessing, and she found blessing, and she lived in blessing. She recognized God's goodness and glory as much in the dusty Toro Hills as she did in her friends. And she lived eternal life while she was among us here in this earthly body. She lived it as much when she was here as she does now, without shadow or turning face to face with Christ. In this way, she knew healing and wholeness before she died. She knew that whatever she lacked was more than made up for by God's love and blessing. So I'd like to invite you this week to just observe what holds you back from trusting God. What do you clutch out of fear of not having enough? Just observe it with compassion. And then see Jesus' eyes of love and desire for you to know more. To know so much more. To have so much more. So take that risk from moving from arm's length directly into his embrace. Because that's eternal life, my friends. And it's yours. It's yours for the asking.